Three Rivers Archery, your longbow and recurve experts.
Hi, today we're talking about arrow material and things you need to consider when you're picking what's best for you. To start it off, we'll start with wood. Wood is the heritage of traditional archery, the oldest material used with the bow. Nothing feels quite like a well-tuned wood arrow in flight. They're quiet, the way they fly, just beautiful. That said, wood takes the most work to become an arrow. It has to be stained, it has to be sealed, crested, tapered for nocks and points, a lot more into it. Now, it's a labor of love if you do your own arrow building, but there's just a little bit more that goes into getting these ready to fly. But once they're flying, being that there's more mass material to it, being solid, not hollow like the others, they do fly quieter in flight comparably, just because the arrow is able to soak up more energy from the bow. They do require the most maintenance, though, for shooting compared to the others. One, you have to check and make sure they're not bent, there's not cracks in the wood. It's just a little bit of flexing. You can do it with your hands in that, but it is definitely something that has to be done more often compared to the others. But I do believe every traditional archer should shoot some wood arrows at some point in their archery career. Next is aluminum. Now, aluminum is a great material. The biggest advantage to aluminum actually is the consistency. Aluminum arrows are the most consistent in straightness and weight tolerances than any of the material here. So when you have these tuned in right, it is very easy to get them matched from dozen to dozen to dozen of how you're shooting there. High-level competitive shooters usually shoot aluminum because of that, because they have the precision to it, knowing that their gear is top-notch. There are still components that you can add to it. Weight-wise, they have a higher GPI, which is grains per inch, compared to normal carbon shafts. But that can be good just for having good flight, soaking up a little bit more energy for a hunter, for keeping the arrow quiet, and things like that. Now, the only real disadvantage to aluminum is there's a lot of spine selection, so you have to make sure you're choosing the right spine for you. And in our next video, we're going to talk about how to choose the right spine and all the materials. But then also, you can bend aluminum arrow shafts. Now, there are tools to help you straighten it out, but it is a lot harder to straighten these compared to wood arrows. So just, something to consider with it, that they can break in that sense, or bend and be not shot. And then next, carbon. It's the newest materials for these three, and there are a ton of variety to it, of different diameters, tons of spine selection. Not as much spine selection as the other ones. It's a little bit wider, but you're able to tune those wider spines to your bow with using different components, whether it's different cutting at different lengths, different point weight, insert weight, but there's a ton of different accessories and components that you can add to it, from the nock, inserts, collars, broadhead adapters, weight tubes, anything and everything. So you can really tune this arrow to customize to whatever hunting setup or target setup that you need it to be. And usually with the same shaft. They have the lowest maintenance of these because they cannot bend. It's either going to be straight or broke. There's no in between. So you still need to do your checks to make sure that the arrow is in shooting condition. But if you're new to shooting, I like to recommend carbon, just because it's one less thing that you have to worry about as an archer. Is you have your arrows and you just focus on your form and shooting. Offered them a lot of variety to it, so there's a lot of selection to find what you like, and we'll cover a bit more on those in its own video for it. But that is the three different materials that we have for choosing your arrow. You need to find what fits your shooting style, whether you're looking for light and fast for shooting with just target, you want something a bit heavier for hunting, or anything and everything in between. If you have any questions on any of these materials, please comment below. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up. If you really like the video, please hit the share button to share with your friends and family. I'm Jonathan Karch with Three Rivers Archery. Thanks for watching.